Right.
So, big topic one, which comes in two parts. Part A, the dev workshop breakdown,
Right.
and part B, which is what DE doesn't seem to get about the guns versus melee balance issue.
Cool.
Right.
Right.
So,
So,
part A first.
Xeno's seen these. I haven't. We're going to do a bit of a thing with it. And so I'm going to read them out, then we're going to have a quick talk about them, okay? Yeah?
I'll interrupt like the key point and then move on to the next key point. So,
Cool. Okay.
yeah.
The three parts of the dev workshop: the rebalance of guns melee, the update to the Parazon, and the updates to the helmet system. Cool. Part 1, guns and melee update. This too falls into three parts.
Yeah.
So three parts for point 1, right? Nerfs to melee and one gun, a completely new addition to primary and secondary weapons, and 3 new mods for primary and secondary weapons. Okay, cool. So we've got nerfs, new thing, new mods. Cool, right.
Yeah.
Melee mod, nerfs. 3 melee mods are getting nerfed. The first is Berserker. This is changing to be called Berserker Fury, so that it no longer can be stacked in a build with Fury or Primed Fury. Right. Its total speed increase is being reduced to 70% from 75%, but is now triggered by kills. I think it's hits at the moment, or crits?
No, it's crits. It's crits at
Okay,
the moment.
cool.
So because they said in the...
It says next bit, yeah. Shall I read?
Yeah, keep going.
This removes the crit bias on the mod, but also makes it dependent on getting kills, which can be slower to achieve at higher levels. The second is Blood Rush, which is a simple stat reduction. It will still add crit chance with the combo counter, but not as much. The additional crit is now 40% down from 60%. Wow, that's quite good. The third is Condition Overload. I'm going to say something about that, which is another simple stat reduction. You still gain bonus damage per status chance affecting the enemy, but the bonus is now 80%. Down from 120%. So those last two mods, Blood Rush and Condition Overload, have lost a third of their stats, their maximum stats. Wow.
Yeah, but I think with all the crit chance stuff that you can get in
Yep, I'm with you.
melee, it's, there's a lot there. In all honesty, I can't ever remember what Condition Overload does.
So the condition, for every additional status on the enemy, they take more damage.
Oh, that was it. Yeah.
Now, this is the second, my understanding is this is the second time this has actually been nerfed. I remember talking to somebody about it, and they were like, oh, it's not as good as it was now. That doesn't matter as much. And I'm like, yeah, but would you still put it in every build? I'm like, yeah. Right. And it's been nerfed again. Okay, cool. Okay, so those are the mods. You got anything to say on those? I mean, I wouldn't... Go, you go. Sorry.
To be honest, I kind of want to see how this plays out in things. Yes, I think the biggest one, realistically, and I'm pretty sure the commenters are going to say, actually, no, I'm going to caveat this. Right. I'm more of a gun person than a melee person. I'm just going to caveat this. So if I say something utterly stupid, no, it's because I am stupid. Yeah. Right. So, don't worry about that. I would feel that the biggest nerf here is the fact that you can no longer put Berserker with Fury or Primed Fury.
Yeah.
Right. So there's going to be a lot of a speed reduction in your performance. That is that is what I feel is the biggest quote unquote nerf. But in all honesty, I'm not sure. And I really think that the point in the game where you're really going to see this as a nerf is towards like high level play where you're fighting enemies that are in the hundreds.
One thing, because I always keep a wiki page open now to check, because after someone's like, oh, you guys don't know anything. So Primed Fury though, so it doesn't stack with this anymore.
Yeah.
So Primed Fury is going to give me 55% attack speed. I know it's harder to get Prime Fury, but it is just the better Fury, and eventually everyone will move on to get it, and everyone can get it. You just need to get it at... It'll become available at day 200, 400, 600 until chosen as a milestone reward. Right, so you can get it 200 days in. I know that is a long time for a newer player, but eventually they will get it, and so that'll now give 55%, or you can take Berserker Fury, and it'll go up to 70%, but you have to get kills. So okay, there is a bit of a skill-based thing. Now, I don't know if that's the best, and people are like, oh my god, do you actually know how long it would take you to get those kills, and blah, 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 and the percentage chance, and the overall thing you might as well take... I don't know, but I was just wondering, because I thought, how much does Prime Fury give? Is this even worth it? It does seem a bit weird to me to knock it down to knock off 5%, if you're already making it not stack with the others. Because to be honest, personally, I would always take Prime Fury because I'm just lazy. I just don't want to have to be thinking about my stacks and my kills, and because you're gonna have to. In theory, you could change the way you play and think, okay, there's 7 enemies in front of me. If I kill those 2 weaker enemies first, that will then start stacking my buff. That then help me kill that mob, and then that mob will be hard. But I need to kill that one before that. You see, you know, maybe that's good. Maybe it'll have some play and thinking about it. No,
no, I do agree with you.
Okay, right. Next bit.
Yep, next bit.
Glaive nerf. Here is a very minor nerf. more balance check. The current stats for a quick throw on glaives are nearly equal to the stats for a fully charged throw. DE feels that's not right. So quick throw damage is being reduced across the board to 50% of the damage of the fully charged throw deals. For most players, this difference will not even be noticeable. To help these 2 types of throws stay separate, DE are increasing the time it takes to charge up a fully charged throw from 0.6 seconds to 1.2 seconds.
I mean, I think the real reason why most players won't notice the difference is because most players don't use the glaive.
Yes.
Sorry.
Glaives. I assume that's all glaives.
Yeah, it is all glaives. So, to me, logistically, this makes sense. Like, it doesn't make sense. Why would you have a fully, like a charged up throw that does exactly the same as the quick throw? I mean, maybe a nicer way of handling this is actually you double the damage dealt by the fully charge, because, I mean, that way it doesn't feel like as insult to injury.
So at least you'd be getting something from it rather than feeling like you've been taken,
Yeah, but at the same time, like, I'd love to know how many people actively use glaives.
I don't know if maybe there was a secret, subtle, super glaive build where if you just spammed quick throws or something, maybe there was some clever build with that. We didn't know about that.
That is certainly a possibility, but I think the big crux of the argument is, why would you ever use the full attack when the quick attack does the same thing?
Yeah. I assume when they say almost the same, I assume it was like 80%. So you'd be charging up for only like a minor 10 or 20%, yeah. Oh, well, but I mean, I still like the glaive, but yeah, I can see why that'd be not... Because it's double nerf, really. They are nerfing the quick throw, and then they're making it harder to get that fully charged throw.
Yeah. But, like, to be honest, 0.6 seconds for a charged throw seems fucking short.
Do you know, I almost think that's...
Where's the charge?
I almost wouldn't think that I've charged it. I wouldn't be able to tell the difference. Maybe unless there's an animation for it just to pocket. Anyway, moving on to the next one. Kuva nuke or nerf. This is simple, as the gun is so prevalent. You have one, Xeno?
Yep.
Okay. Now
I'm using it right now.
Are you? Okay.
Yeah. Right now I am using it. You don't know it. That's how prevalent it is.
It's just everywhere.
It's just everywhere.
One in the kitchen,
to be fair,
one in the bathroom.
I like, when I moved from the Catch Moon kick gun, I did go to the Kuva nuke core, and so I totally get this. So this one I get.
Now it only chains to 2 additional enemies, down from 4. Likely this is classed by DE under the melee nerf because of the way it primes rooms for enemies for melee attacks. Addition overload. Ah, of course.
Yeah.
Right.
So I don't know if that was their mentality, but I got a funny feeling that the Kuva nuke core has been like the secondary to go with for like the longest time, and and because it had an innate elemental type damage, and I think, does it have radiation as well because it's the nuke core?
Yeah.
It'd just be like really, really good for...
Yeah, you'd even make... Yeah, I see what you mean. You'd easily get the radiation proc, which means you'd get enemies fighting each other very easily, which reduces your damage as well, so it's giving you a defensive buff, really.
But the gun would just clear rooms without much effort. So my thinking, if anything, is because it's gone from 4 to 2, right? So effectively, instead of hitting 5 dudes, you're hitting 3 dudes, right? Because there's additional enemies. I think you have to aim more.
Right, yeah, you're gonna have to you have to aim across the room to hit somebody rather than before it would just easily link over to them.
Yeah. That's my thinking.
Okay, well, the nerfs are out the way. Let's go to the buffs. Okay, the new additions. Gun arcanes, because arcanes need to be everywhere. I have them in my shoes, in my hat, in my toes. New addition to guns arcanes. This adds a new arcane slot to all primary and secondary weapons. There are 3 new arcanes for each. These arcanes are called Merciless, Deadhead, and Dexterity. 1 of each for primary and secondary. Merciless stacks up damage and grants reload speed and a maximum ammo bonuses on kill. The bonuses last for 6 seconds. You can stack up to 360% damage, 30% reload speed, and 100% ammo max. Whoa, okay.
So the whole point of this arcane was you really push hard to just constantly murder stuff to have that stack. So like whenever you killed another one, that stack refreshes, so on and so forth. So a 6-second window. I mean, to be honest, 6 seconds is not that long, but I think it's long enough. Whereas, like, you know,
it's hard to say because it sounds small, but in game time, it might, you know, be quite long.
Yeah. I've seen, was it the Null? Sorry, the Nell or something, like, you know, Harrow's is like 2 seconds. I'm like, what? I can't even think that fast.
Yeah.
Okay, next.
Well, Deadhead stacks up based on headshot kills, granting damage, headshot multiplier, and reducing weapon recoil for 24 seconds. This stacks up to 360% damage, 30% headshot multiplier, and minus 50% recoil.
So going back to the whole Nell thing, right?
Yeah.
The Nell thing worked on headshots.
Yeah.
So the fact that this is 24 seconds on headshot kills, I actually really like this because it gives you more time to line up the shot. And because like headshot kills are fucking hard as shit, right?
Even with especially the mouse, sometimes,
Even when I can't speak about the controllers and things because of like aim assist and whatever, but you know, like you know, oh look, I've got big bulky armor. My head is in front of my hunch, or you know, it's like oh my god, or yeah, my head is dangling between my legs, or what the feck ever. So the thing that I really want to praise for this is actually the 24 seconds. I do actually quite like the recoil.
That one's feeling like the one I would probably go for as well for things, because 24 seconds you're not pressured. Gotta get the next kill. Gotta get the next kill. Gotta get the next kill. You know, if that was like even 10 seconds, but like gotta kill them in the head. Gotta kill them in the head. Okay, I've weakened them.
Ooh.
I've weakened them. Oh no, I miss. You know, you don't feel so panicked.
Is there a thing? Here's a question for you.
Yeah.
Like, if you've got splash damage from, say, a Tonkor, right? Does the explosion hit the head first before it hits the torso? What?
That right.
The explosion?
Explosion!
Yeah, if anyone gets that reference, good on you. High five. All around. But do you see my point, though?
Sorry, yes, you had a point. What was it?
No, my point is that like I want to know if splash damage from explosion-based weapons is going to trigger headshots.
I think it can, but it has to be the kill. So I don't know how it works out by time. I think, you know, if it probably can count as a headshot, but a headshot kill might be another tricky thing. I don't know. It probably will. We'll see.
So just imagine people running around with the Ignis. It's like, yes! Deadhead for the win. I'm like, what? How?
Yeah, that's the kind of thing. We'll I feel that's the one, especially with 24 seconds, that may be nerfed a bit. Okay, let's third one here. Okay, Dexterity stacks up based on melee kills, similar to the arcane primary charger we already have for Warframe arcanes. You can stack up to 360% damage for 20 seconds.
You go.
Melee kills. Okay. Oh, the arcane slot of a new weapon is unlocked with an item you buy from Teshin for steel essences. Sorry, Steelies. Yeah. Steelies, yep.
Oh, actually, no. So I thought I was going to go on to something else.
Oh, okay.
So the whole point of the dexterity arcane is you're supposed to be changing what you've currently got equipped. So you're supposed to be juggling your weapons. Personally, I'm not a huge fan of melee in the game. This would make me want to swap between melee and stuff like that. But I think I'd rather use the Merciless or the Deadhead more. I'm just not a fan of how the melee works.
Oh, fair enough. No, well, no, I'm not a fan. Okay. This is my first video when I do it. I like the idea of how much variety of weapons we have and options we have available. But the thing is, there's never any opportunities like, I need to use this tool for this job. It's just, there are balloon enemies which need to be popped. You have a collection of different color pins, and but the melee one gets to have multiple stab points in, or I don't know, because it's just better at the moment. So I'd love the reasons, like, okay, I've got to use my rifle now, I've got to use my secondary now, right, I've got to use my melee now, and if you combine this actually with the when things are holstered they reload, I like the synergy there.
Yeah.
That's what, because I've tried to use that before. I wanted to have I've used the mods where if one is holstered it starts reloading, so I don't have to bother a reload animation. So I'm like, rifle, secondaries, and then back to rifle with no interrupt. Now there'll actually be a reason for me to swap the melee in as well, and I will like this because I want to vary up my gameplay. I don't just want to use my opticore all day long going pew 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 next room pew 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 pew. I like the idea of right now I'll use this, now use this, now use this. Yeah. So anyway, so the arcane slots we get with Steelies. Right, note. Thalian note. Because all these additions come from Steel Path and the item comes from Teshin's shop, Steel Essence gain is being buffed. The alerts will now drop 5 Steel Essence each, and Acolytes will now spawn faster in missions, meaning that farming endless missions will net more Acolytes faster. Cool. Important note. So we have the note. Now we have the important note from Thalian. Thank you, Thalian. Right. There is a niche farming function for Steel Essence that involves killing all Acolytes in a specific area, waiting for your Kamat to use its resource boost ability, then pick up all the Essence. DE are killing this completely and mercilessly, because now Steel Essence will disappear after 5 minutes if not claimed. Be careful that if you pick up Steel Essence fast... be careful that you pick up Steel Essence fast or it could be gone forever. Oh, really? Was there some...
No, but they are actually
it is a tribute to human ingenuity to spot the ridiculous, weird loot caves that people invent. So people were killing the Acolytes. So there'd be several Steelies on the floor. Wait for the Kamat buff to pop, then pick them up and you get bonus, yeah?
You get double.
Double.
Yeah.
Double.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think he's losing his shit. It's fine. Well, I mean, to be honest though, I'm okay with the Kabat buff not having that kind of relevance.
Yep.
But at the same time, with the increase of the Acolytes appearing and stuff like that, it kind of counterbalances, because otherwise people that don't take the Kabats are going to lose out on this tactic, right? So it's not, oh, it's a nerf. Yeah, okay, yes, it is, but for positive reasons, because you shouldn't have to rely on your animal companion to do this. And you can still have your animal companion, and if you're lucky, you can still get double Steelies for the ones that you pick up.
Yeah.
But the whole point is that it's not
guaranteed
a mandatory cheese mechanic.
It's a hard thing to do, because basically they're putting a resource into the game that is going to have a set economy, and they're expecting you to be able to get this much per hour of play or something. They will have mapped all this out. And then people are coming up with ways to just butcher and skew the thing. So those people will just get everything and say, well, I've got nothing to spend it on. Or they'll get billions, and thus it makes it really hard for DE to add new stuff in. Because they'll be like, oh, I've still got billions, where do I spend them on? So it's tricky. It wasn't intended, and yeah. Right, should we move on to the new mods?
Yes.
New mods for guns. Galvanized mods are conditional mods that will grant base stats, but also can trigger bonus stats. They work on the same principle as equipping a prime or umbral version of a mod. So, for example, a galvanized diffusion cannot be placed on the same build as a barrel diffusion. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
These will include mods like galvanized scope, a replacement for argon scope on rifles, which will trigger on headshots like the base mod. At base, a headshot will give you a 120% crit chance while aiming. However, in addition, a headshot kill will give you an extra 40% crit chance while aiming, which can stack up to 200% for 12 seconds, meaning a total of 320% crit while aiming if you maintain your headshot kills.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I think the whole point of these mods... Actually, no, keep going. Just let's go
Galvanized
through...
Chamber, a replacement for Split Chamber, which will give 80% multi-shot at base, but on kill will trigger bonus of 30%, which stacks up to 120% for 20 seconds, meaning 200% multi-shot while you keep up the kills. Right, do you know what Split Chambers is by default? I can't remember what Split Chambers is. I think it's 100...
No, but I can look it up. I thought it was like 120.
I think 120, yeah. But by default, it's lower, but if you start getting bonus multi-shot 30%, which
if you get kills, yeah.
So with one kill, you're still behind. So you have to take 2 kills, and you're already ahead by 20%. Okay. Yeah, by the 4th kill.
So, okay. Split chamber. Oh no, we're wrong.
Yeah,
it's 90%.
Oh.
It's only a 10% reduction.
Okay. So 1 kill and you're already ahead. Okay, so it's just flat out better. Okay, that's fair enough. It's like a next level mod. I can see. I think because one of my complaints is I think these are put in Steel Path, and now I can see why. Because if they're not, this is okay. This is okay. So we're almost getting tiering mods now, which is
yeah.
Right, next one, Galvanized Aptitude, replacing Rifle Aptitude, which gives 80% status at base, but stacks on kill based on the number of status types affecting the target when you kill it. This is condition overload for rifles. Okay. This is a little unclear. And if we take it to work similarity to condition overload, this means killing an enemy with 3 status types on it will grant you 120% status chance, and the effect stacks a second time, meaning that killing the next enemy within the time limit will give you another 120% status chance. Using this, the predicted result is that you could maintain up to 320% status chance for your weapon, although if this is an incorrect interpretation, the effect will only be able to maintain 160% status chance. Okay, so there's status and killing there, fair enough.
Yeah. Yes, status and killing.
Yes, because we're not sure how that one's working, so fair enough, we'll have to wait and see. Shotguns and secondaries will also gain similar mods to these, although the stats on some are different. For example, galvanized acceleration for shotguns increases projectile flight speed and beam length, and stacks more based on kills for 10 seconds. Meanwhile, galvanized shot for pistols will stack status chance higher than galvanized aptitude, but for a shorter amount of time. Moving on. Okay, that's part. The 3 parts of part 1 done.
Well, let's talk about this third part about these galvanized mods.
Yes.
And I like these because they do exist in Steel Path. You're supposed to do Steel Path to get them, but as you put it earlier, these are a tiered system of. This is you go do this stuff, you get better equipment to do better in the harder stuff. This is exactly why I like these. It's because realistically these are for the harder things that you're doing, like you're getting your first lich kill. Hey everyone, give him a round of applause. Press F in chat because Loz is getting his first ever lich kill.
I go through the loot later and it's got things like the Chinese New Year stuff and like piles and piles of mods. It's got oddly enough, I looked through the page at the start. It doesn't say how many days it's been alive anymore. And I was really sad.
Oh, really?
No, it doesn't. Well, I couldn't see it. I don't know if it's hidden somewhere and you're on a tooltip or something, but I couldn't see it, and it was just like, oh. There we go.
Yeah, so first ever lich kill by Loz. There we go. Right, sorry.
And I didn't even get the weapon because I saved it.
Right, but the whole point is that these mods feel like they are contributing towards more difficult gameplay.
No, I would, hopefully. I mean, I know the goal of these mods was to balance, is an attempt to balance or bring, instead of just the continuous melee's the best, then rifles are the best, then pistols are the best, then melee's the best, then pistols are the best, then rifles are the best. It's an attempt to try and bring things into more of a balance, hope through play, because these are skill-based things that give you more reward if you're able to keep the momentum going. Sometimes it'll be easy, sometimes I'm sure it'll be hard based on what you're fighting, but they are definitely a tier above what you get in the normal star chart. So this is almost like a raid tier higher in reward sort of thing. in an MMO. That's why I'm sort of thinking about it. Which is fine, and hopefully, though, once they bring rifles and things up, maybe they can think about bringing content that makes us use them. You know, because these kind of things where you've got to get kills to get a status up to then do something, you could have hopefully a boss where you've got people breaking into teams where some people are in little side rooms killing small mobs to get the alarm, the sirens. Yep, sorry.
Vaguely.
They're coming to kill me. No, sorry. They're coming to get me. No, I mean that in a boss, people go into the side rooms to kill little mobs to keep up their buffs, and then people in the main room get the boss into a damage state, and then people come back to deal the damage with their buffs. You know, there's gameplay elements that can feed off of these kind of thing. You see what I mean?
Yeah. No, I think that this holds a lot of potential for, an expansion to content.
Yeah.
And I think when you take these galvanized mods and things and you go back to the regular game, they're just going to waste things. But I mean, as it stands now, we're just murderizing the universe when it comes to kits anyway. So this is more to help towards things like Steel Path, and I like them. Yeah,
no. I think it's good. I will. It would also, that's the other thing with Steel Path is that apart from the Steel Essences, I burnt out and I went, oh, why am I going through this? So this will encourage me to do more. You?
Yep. No, I completely agree. So should we move on to the second part?
Right, part 2 of this. The Parazon updates. Parazon mercy kills are seen as unreliable, and there's not really a reward for using them until you have the mods for them. Even then, it's difficult using them because by the time you have reduced an enemy to 20% of health, it's easier to simply kill that enemy than mercy kill it. Beyond this, mercy kill triggers have an RNG spawn on enemies, meaning it's often just a surprise pop-up that you can't react to. Now, the mercy kill triggering is being made reliable. It will be guaranteed on specific enemy units and will trigger at a higher health threshold. Mercy kills will trigger on all Xmas units, on heavy gunners, bombards, scrambus, nullifiers, and ancients. On the Corpus units, the health threshold requires them to have all of their shields removed, but the threshold is high at 60% health, while Grenadier and Ancients will trigger at 40% health. Impact Stackers procs will now increase this threshold to 80%. So on high-level missions, taking an impact status weapon could allow you to instantly kill heavy Grenadier units at close to 80% health with your Parazon. Wow. I'm a bit sure that's kind of cool. Okay, to add to this, new Parazon mods are being released. Power Drain. Your next ability cast gains 50% strength. Power strength? What?
Yeah, I imagine that's power strength.
Miraculous Code. 50% chance for enemies within 15 meters to cower in fear for 8 seconds. Oh no, I think when you do a Parazon execute, these buffs happen.
Yeah.
Right, okay. Hard Reset. 3 mercy kills within 40 seconds will revive a fallen companion or sentinel. No. That's no. Don't do that. Don't taunt me like that. I haven't got round to it, but I'm gonna put bloody dispensary on my Excalibur from Protea just to get my sentinel back. Don't give me some silly. So maybe that would be better for the 24-hour missions when we do them. Oh well, maybe this would be the better way, I don't know. Swift Mercy. Speed of mercy kills increased by 50%. Okay. Firewall reduces the damage while hacking by 75%. Right, okay. That's it for the second part.
So one of the points that they highlighted with or Pablo highlights is the threshold for the kills.
Yeah.
It reduces with the higher the health pool. But with the example he gave, you have to be fighting Grenadier heavy gunners that are like level 450 before the 80% will drop down any further.
What do you mean?
So, for example, because they don't want you to just one-shot kill enemies that are like level insane, right? Because you do get players that, push the game to its max, playing for like 8 hours in a single mission to get level 1,000 enemies or whatever.
Right.
The last thing that they want is for those players to be able to one-shot kill a heavy gunner that, oh, we got it down to 80% health. Oh, now we've just killed it because we used a mercy kill on it. Right? Does that make sense?
I thought that's the whole point of the system.
No. So it is, right? But the caveat is that the bigger the health pool, right? That minimum threshold, right, for the health is decreased.
So you're saying a level 4,000 heavy gunner will actually be like 60% rather than 80%?
They didn't actually specify the percentage, but yes.
Right, got you. That's fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that was the one thing that was left out of these notes. I like this. I like the fact that they don't bother putting it on any of the chaff enemies that you're gonna kill.
What? Yeah.
There's obviously going to be more enemies.
Take that, Grineer Lancer! I've killed you in a very special way.
I imagine the Nox are going to be on this. Probably some of the
Arachniths. Spiders. Arachnoids.
Arachnoids, right. I'd also envision some of the mowers as well.
Yes.
So I
Burses. The riot mower.
Anyway, so I quite like the look of what they're changing here. And again, liking the look of these mods as well. So I don't really have much more to add to this. So do you want to move on to part 3, or do you want to say something?
No, I like it. The impact thing is a nice thing. I like that they're experimenting with something different to give Impact its own unique thing, because it needed it.
Yeah.
Because otherwise we just do slash damage. Okay.
Yeah.
New Helminth abilities are being added. Each one will be at a new rank of Helminth, increasing from the current maximum level. I haven't even started doing Helminth. Parasitic armor. Sacrifice shields to reinforce armor for the duration.
Yes, please.
Sacrifice shields to reinforce armor. Really? Okay.
Yeah, no, because my Oberon, right?
Ah, yes.
Make the shields go away, get more armor, take more damage, heal more. Yes.
Do you use a Helminth ability on your Oberon as it is?
Yeah, to increase the power strength, so I can actually make the healing better. So I'll chuck it and get this instead.
Hideous resistance. Grant yourself immunity to status effects. That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Voracious metastasis. Yeah, it's metastasis. Metastasis. That was metastasis or metastasis. Oh well. Voracious metastasis. Consume energy to heal yourself and grant allies in range equal energy to the amount you spend. Wow, okay.
Yeah.
Consume energy. So it's like, yeah, okay. Equal energy. So if 4 people in a team had this, so they alternate, they just make energy and they're like constant.
Come on. If we can't make people use corrosive projection.
Yeah.
And what's the, how's like, yeah, okay.
But you literally, because it won't have a cooldown, you literally get 4 people saying a circle, and as long as one person has energy, they go, it just pings around in a circle, just constantly making more and more and more energy.
I completely, hold on. Is that what it said?
There's equal energy to the amount you spend. Grants allies in range equal energy to the amount you spend. So I spend 25. My 3 teammates get 25.
Yeah.
I've produced 70. Yeah. I've produced an additional 50 energy. The next person pushes it. Then third person pushes it. And fourth person pushes it.
It'll never happen. It'll never happen. Sickening, if I can't make corrosive projection work, this is not going to work.
Sickening pulse. Emit a pulse that adds stacks to the existing status effects on all enemies in range. Bleed and toxin effects, which do not have bonuses for stacking. Instead have duplicates of the existing procs placed with fresh timers.
Oof.
What? I hope that doesn't go beyond 1 additional buff.
Hold on. Emit a pulse that adds status to existing status effects.
To existing status effects.
Oh, yeah.
Or mage in range.
But I think they have to have them first.
Yeah. Oh, yes. Yeah. Right, and the last one is Golden Instinct. Send out a seeking spark that finds collectible items such as medallions, iron sculptures, unscanned curia, and unscanned fragments. This is a short-lived spark, so recasts will be needed. I like that.
I like that.
I like that. It's good.
I like that.
Yeah. Good. I don't know why Golden Instinct Hyper Hunting Frame will be, but I will make one. Probably Volt Prime.
What's for speed? Yep.
Right, new helmet function. Cool. Invigorations. Similar to the bonuses you will find on arbitration missions, where a specific frame gets a specific bonus. Helminth will now draw 3 random frames from your arsenal that it has an affinity towards. By seating them in the chair, you can infuse those frames with their invigoration. These are always to include 1 offensive buff and 1 utility/defensive buff. The 3 examples that DE used were 200% power strength and immune to status, 200% primary crit chance and 1,000 armor, 250% melee damage and 75% efficiency. The infused invigorations last for the week and reset with Helminth's affinity roll. The infusing invigorations last for the week and reset when Helminth's affinity roll resets at the start of the next week. To unlock this, you will need a segment from the Sun on Demos that currently costs 30,000 Entrati standing. It will be only available once you hit the rank of family with the Entrati. As one last thing, for every 10 regular invigorations you do, you can select the next warframe to receive an invigoration from Helminth instead of a random roll.
Yeah, so the idea is that if you wanted to put an invigoration on Excalibur, but Excalibur just never appeared in the random pool of 3, that after the 10th one, you could say, nah, give me Excalibur now.
What? Do you know my one problem with this?
Go on.
Oh. Well, I want to use only these 3 warframes. Put on shelf. Get all my other warframes and tip them into the bin. Get my 3 warframes down. Eternal buffs, my children, will be mine. Mine. You see what I mean?
Yeah, no.
It is encouraging to have less warframes, is my issue.
But I don't know if people would actively do that, though. Would they? Would people actually choose
if we get
Purge?
some more advanced content that is actually required, sorry. So this is just an example, obviously, but right, like, you know, each week my guaranteed 3 warframes will be super powered with, for example, 200% power strength and immunity to status, 200% primary crit chance, 100% hour, and 250% melee damage for 75% efficiency. Yes, I know that means that they won't always get the buff I want, but at least the warframes I play with will always have a buff.
Yeah. Yeah, no.
Or hell, Xeno, for you, I know you would never do this, but right, I'm going to take it one step further. Yeah? Right?
Yeah.
In my hand?
Sorry, I can't see a hand. Hold on.
Okay, I've got my Oberon.
Yeah.
Shelf. Got my Oberon. Shelf. Got my Oberon. Shelf. Got my other warframes. Oberon buffed.
I kind of wonder if anyone's actually going to point that out to them. So
yeah, I mean, I wonder if someone who had multiple accounts couldn't possibly make one of these accounts if they ever wanted to do high-level content very easily. Do we know anyone with multiple accounts of high-level stuff? I wonder.
But I'm genuinely interested, though. I'm going to pose this as a question. I've already prepared it, which is like, would people be prepared to purge their warframes just to have the ones that they wanted to invigorate? Like, I don't think I could. I don't know if. Oh God.
I like this. I just want to say, right? I like the concept. Oh, I'm a bit off. I like the concept. I think this is great.
Yeah.
But maybe it should be from all Warframes.
The problem is, what if you don't have that Warframe?
You lose out. Encourages you to get the Warframe.
True, but what if you don't have Warframe slots?
And encourages you to buy Warframe slots.
It's tricky. It is tricky.
I mean, I don't know how long it would take a new player to unlock Helminth, the Helminth system, and get it to that level. But in reality,
quite quickly, because remember, this is Deimos. This is like
I haven't even unlocked it yet.
Yeah, but you can't be bothered.
I tried 2 weeks ago. Didn't you see the footage?
Hold on, you've only just fucking done your Kuva Lich.
Yeah, it's because it didn't ever come fight me.
You had a Kuva Lich.
Yeah, for
what, a year and a half?
2 years, I think, maybe.
No, because it came out in. Wait, did you get it immediately?
Pretty early on, you know, when you were doing lots of things, I was like, oh, okay, I got one.
So that would have been October 2019.
Probably.
Right. So you've had yours for over a year and a half.
Yeah, about right.
Only just done it. Yep. Right. And so in a year's time, we'll see you actually having gotten the Helminth component.
Probably.
No, I'd like to see how they're going to address this.
There is some, yeah. I feel there is something to it because maybe I'm going a bit extreme with saying you're going down to literally like 3 frames, but I could see people going, "Well, I never play these frames anymore." Wobom.
Yeah, I'm like, you know, I can't imagine that this would be an issue, but I think primes and regulars should be considered the same.
Oh, I do hope they are. Or they better be.
I think that's a non-starter.
Yeah.
So let's not worry about that. But I'm just trying to think.
And Umbra, but
yeah. But
I think they do already for arbitration missions. Right, yeah. There is one last bit.
Go on.
Finally, with this update and all its changes, DE are giving players of Mastery Rank 5 and above gifts to compensate them a little for the nerfs. All players Mastery Rank 5 and up will receive 5 built formers and a 3-day affinity booster. Any player who owns a Kuva Nukor will receive an extra 2 built former. Any players who owned any Lich weapon at any... I gotta get a Lich. I have a Lich, yes. Any players who owned any Lich at any point or have a converted Lich or even an active Lich, oh okay, I had that, get 1 Requiem Ultimatum, which is a new item that taunts a Lich or sister into battle. Ooh! Where did those come from?
Well, they've announced it now, haven't they?
Well, no, they don't say well, that's just one. That's just one, you get one of them.
I imagine it'll come from Teshin.
Yeah. All players who have a converted Lich or vanquished Lich will get an OUL? OULL?
I have no idea.
I don't know what that is. Or Wildcard Requiem mod.
I reckon that it just basically means that they'll get
one of the new What?
Okay.
Get an OUL. I don't know. All these changes are coming with Sisters of Parvos. Wow, this is being quite a big update before TennoCon.
Yeah.
This is cool.
So, well, it's really interesting because Reb said at the end of the actual video that it was going to be early summer. And I'm like, don't do this to me, Reb.
Don't do me like this. Don't do me like this. Why are you doing this to me?
No. It's you're going to give it to us before TennoCon. Give. What happened? Loz, you need to...
My hand has become my hip. I'm just leaning. Just leaning, man. Just leaning.
Do you want to T-pose to justice?
Right now.
What the hell?
I actually don't know what's... Right, okay. Right, I should have... Oh no! Now it is worse!
Right, well... Just recalibrate.
Okay. I'm recalibrating.
There you go.
What? Oh, it's back. Okay. All right, let's turn this back on.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Let's try and go. Let's try that. There we go. Gotta have that hip lean. Oh, yeah.
Did you ever get your feet ones?
Yeah, they're over there. But don't you remember what happens is the model isn't set, so the look at the shoulder isn't. It's not bad on this. Yeah, you see, it's deforming there, but my neck is not deforming. I don't know. Actually, we have to we'll test it next time, I think. But I don't think that's not as bad as the feet one. I'll try it with the feet one next week. I can always turn them off. Yeah, because it's still there. You see, I've still got neck.
Yeah. Right. Okay. Cool. So that's it for the breakdown from DE.
Right.
So now we're going to go into part B of this topic, which is what DE doesn't seem to get about guns versus melee balance issue.
Right. Bring it on, player.
Only band-aid fixes, specifically mods, will be provided to bridge the gap between damage of guns and melee weapons. The last dev stream reiterated that melee needs a nerf. Melees need a nerf. Melee needs a nerf. Okay. Because the AI has always been pretty much brain dead, DE didn't have a way to scale difficulty, but to make more enemies with more stats. The way players play the game changed to adapt to this playstyle. AoE is king, and survivability depends on using abilities non-stop to either nuke them, perma-CC, or tank. Because if you don't, you will get overwhelmed and killed. Melee will always affect more enemies than non-AoE guns, which means as long as you are using a gun and actually aiming, you are losing time, and there are more enemies spawning than being killed. Know that. Okay, keep going. Evolutive.
Where are we at?
Evolutive.
Yeah, evolutive.
Evolutive mods. What the fuck is? Blood Rush.
I think they're implying the mods that sort of advance in power through use. Because it's like, Blood Rush, for instance, or Condition Overload. So it does. No, it's not. It shouldn't say evolutive because that doesn't make sense. Evolutive is like the Knave, which completely changes the way it plays. It should be stat stacking mods, or almost like proc chance mods, or stat compiling mods. Do you know what I mean?
Of relating to or promoting evolution or development.
Yeah. And evolution is just like, change over time sort of thing.
Yeah. Okay.
But that's what they're saying. So like Condition Overload, which, you hit an enemy first and they don't have any debuffs, but your hit status procs them, and thus now the Condition Overload has evolved to a new form to do more damage.
Okay,
they're implying.
Right. So evolutive mods were stated as the #1 factor for the most disparity in melee versus a gun power creep. Timer should be removed. Combos should have scaling properties, evolutive attributes added to combos, and DE should balance speed and damage. Slower attacks should be stronger than lighter attacks.
Right.
I don't know if this has been paraphrased too heavily.
Oh yeah. Well, so I just want to point out. So this is from a post of a week ago. So this is someone put on there. It is a Reddit post from Robble Viejo. It's gotten 2.6k thousand upvotes overall, or its ratio is. I mean, where's the? Can I see its percentage? Oh, it's probably at the bottom. And it is a very 96% upvoted. So yeah, it's got a few downvotes, but you always get a few. It's very long. So before we begin, I would like to thank Tobiah for reading through all of this and making our summary that we have. There's a lot here. There is a lot. I mean, they've got like a section: Dynasty, Warframe, Hordes and Cover, Enemies Killed per Swing Shots, Evolutive Mods, awful for building diversity, awesome for gameplay, Pickups and Vacuum, the never-ending battle between DE and the community, Melee and Data Mass, an unbreakable bond. There's a default weapon carrying a data mass. What? This is a subtle yet very important matter here. Melees are our default weapon when carrying a data mass, or when we are fishing, mining, or hunting. No, it isn't. You default to pistol.
Yeah.
If you're holding a rifle, you get your pistol out. If you're holding a pistol, your pistol stays out.
Except for fishing.
Yeah, fishing. I'll give you fishing. Don't get me wrong. Yeah.
Yeah, but no, Dynamax is pistol.
I mean, they could say that like it is the best choice to use when you're using a data mass, but that's not what they're saying. They're saying it's our default weapon. It's not when carrying a data mass. No, and the thing is called data mass. Unbreakable one. A nerf to melees will subsequently make all these activities suck even more than. Oh, shut up. Now pair this with the leaked gun mods, the ones adding percentage damage if you don't have a melee weapon equipped. The ones adding percentage damage if you don't have a melee weapon equipped, and you'll probably understand my deep concern. That's just an example. I've just taken one thing. I'm going to give the rest of his topic bullet points, but we've just gone through the mods, and I just want to compare back to this. There's already... So one of the arcanes was a bonus for melee thing. The other two do not require a melee weapon.
So...
Yeah?
Yeah. So right. I think...
So let me do the rest of the tab, sorry. So these are I'm just giving you the bullet points, right? Difficulty. Mechanical skill versus superior stats. Below are some comments I got the last time I discussed these ideas on the sub. So the comments are pretty clear about something. Melee attack speed mods need to be additive and not multiplicative. Playtime. Evolutive mods again. The Blazing Flask gameplay was an emergent from bottom to a heavy grind game. Okay, back to Dynasty Warframe. You decrease attack speed on melees abolish combos and disregard animations, and then that's it. So this is a very long topic. So we're trying to break it down to something small, and what they're saying. AoE is king. Sorry, but two ends on use, and there will always be more. Will affect more enemies than non-AoE guns.
That's again not true, because if you've got guns, unless you're considering, oh god, what's the name of the piercing shot? Whatever shoots through enemies, right, as AoE weapons, then that statement just kind of shoots itself in the foot. You know, it's yeah, but I mean. That, so every weapon that can hit multiple targets instantly, so that it feels weird, like this.
So I'm just going through a flick through this. When they mean about what they're talking about, these elevative mods, they say that you shouldn't buff the primaries and secondaries by putting these elevative mods in. You should make the elevative effect be. And this is in caps and all and bolded. Baseline in all weapons. So all weapons
should just get better because you're using them.
Because you've killed someone or because you've gotten a headshot kill.
No.
Xeno?
No.
Xeno.
What?
And when everyone's special, no one will be. Remove all elevative mods. Every weapon has a different elevative attributes that scale. For some crit chance, for other status damage, or multi-shot fire rate, maybe even stuff like plus sentimental damage. This opens up a lot of possibilities and a new layer of balance DE can make. Like, all players build this weapon for crit, but it has a good status chance. What if we lower the crit chance, but give it a plus elemental damage on hit, so they could run it as an elemental weapon too? Best way to balance is to give nerfs and buffs equally.
Back up. So they just said right that there was a statement in there that this brings more balance. Can you read?
Remove all elevative mods. Every weapon has different elevative abilities that scale for some crit chance, status, multi-shot fire rate. This opens up a lot of possibilities and a new layer of balance that you can make.
No, stop there. Right,
I've stopped.
This is right. You've opened up a new layer of possibilities. Completely agree here, but this does not bring in balance, right? This is more work to achieve balance because you have now created like an extra layer of chaos, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So it's like, okay. So we have this RNG thing. Now we're going to add extra RNG, which will make it possible to balance more. No, that's not how that works, right? You got to take away the RNG. So I I mean, obviously, to highlight, this was written before the dev workshop, right? And I also want to highlight that you should never go off leaked content. I mean, there have been I swear I heard somewhere that, like, in what you were reading, that they did this based on the leaked mods that were revealed.
Oh no, I think they talked about it in a dev stream. They said about, I think, like, Scott was giving an example. This wasn't like verbatim, this is how it's going to be. He was like, maybe we'll put in a mod that will be, I think that was one of them that became an arcane in the end, the one where for every melee kill you up your rifle damage, that kind of thing.
Yeah. So, like, you should never take it as gospel that something that has not been properly divulged to the public as gospel. It is gospel. It's not gospel, but you should still react on it, just not as negatively, I should say, right? Please, DE, do not make these mods, right? Please address it in a different way.
Yeah, that's what I mean. You say, like, you may be trying to do, from what you said in the dev stream, this might be an idea of what you're putting in. Though I can see what you're doing, I think it might be bad and not the solution because this might happen. And then you just suggest your thing. You don't say, like, no, don't do this, it's stupid. Blah. You go, that might be a problem because this might happen. That's me thinking.
I definitely don't think that these evolutive mods relating to or promoting evolution or development mods, what the hell, should be, like, baseline in all weapons. I think that is, could you just imagine, oh yeah, well, the more you shoot this gun, the more bullets this gun shoots. What? Yeah, because the multi-shot just constantly increases.
Yeah, this one's multi-shot. Yeah.
So I shoot. All right. So I shoot one grenade, then I shoot 2 grenades, then I shoot 4 grenades. Sorry. It's like, what the fuck is going on? Yeah. Right? Surely that alone is a clear indication of adding extra layers of chaos. Right?
Yeah, I love the one about it's going to make balance. So at the moment we have to balance weapons off of, let's just go with rifles. So we have to balance it off of, the magazine capacity, the total magazine capacity, the reload speed, the total damage of the weapon divided into 3 sub damages plus status plus crit chance.
Yeah.
I think that's it. That's the throwing thing. And it's like, right, so we've got all that. And now it's going to also add in balance off of its weird stacking effect.
Yeah.
That'll make it even easier to balance. Oh, well, yes, just chuck it in.
So, Weeping Wounds was actually not one of the mods. It was Berserker, wasn't it?
That got changed, Berserker.
Yeah. So, I don't know if Weeping Wounds was... I don't remember Weeping Wounds ever coming up in any of the past topics we've ever done as one of the mods that just really makes melee the bee's knees. I've always ever remembered it as Berserker Blood Rushing Condition Overload.
Weeping Wounds.
I think, that's more crit damage.
40% status chance per combo multiplier.
Yeah. I don't think I've ever remembered that one. Anyway,
the reason why this one's not as bad is because this one is just an enabler for other mods. I mean, yes, it means you'll get more status effects on the target, but it's not damage from those status effects. There will be more damage inherently in some of those status effects, but it's not... It makes other mods better, but it doesn't do that much by itself, I think is the point here.
Yeah. I do feel that what DE have done with... or what they've revealed with the dev workshop is a good direction to take this. I don't know if you can hear those seagulls. No? Okay, good, because they're freaking pissing me off. Shut up already.
No seagulls in space.
Cool, thank God. But they'll find a way. Just imagine them flying around there.
They look up towards Earth. They're coming.
But anyway, so the whole I like what DE are doing. I
Mm.
think this was a bit of an overreaction with,
Yeah.
but I definitely don't think these relating to or promoting evolution or development mods are realistically something that should be inherent to everything.
No,
I think they are part of the problem.
Yeah.
But what DE has done, which is these relating to or promoting evolution or development mods for primary and secondary weapons. Oh, and sorry, the shotguns are primary. Then I think they are sort of addressing this, and also the arcanes as well.
Definitely,
So
right, the last point.
Melee does have arcanes, don't they? Do they?
Zors have arcanes.
Zors, it's just Zors. Okay, right.
So the last point, though, is here that is in there, but it's not. I'll expand this point a little bit more. Is that there's this bit about called Dynasty Warframe. Hordes and Braindead AI, the reason the game rewards stat checks, not attack patterns learning or weak spot aiming, there's probably no going back from this, but better enemy design and less reliance on massive spawns and layers of damage reduction for difficulty is the road to take to start improving on this aspect. It's not that Dynasty Warframe is bad, it's that the game wasn't designed as such in the beginnings and the older systems are starting to show the cracks. Now, I agree with some of the system that I love that they didn't just say bad AI. Well, they said brain dead AI, which is a fair enough thing because people say fix it by making better AI. It's not. It's, as we've said, it's player to mob interactions that's missing.
Yeah.
And so there is that in it. So I don't want to begrudge this whole topic because they've put a lot of time and effort into it, and there is some points in here that that obviously that take that one point that is good, but I think a lot of this there's more worrying that you could have waited to see what the changes were, and I hope maybe I'll keep an eye on this user, and maybe we'll see if they get another topic as in a post the changes, what they think. Maybe we'll see that. Yeah.
Maybe you should push on there saying like, how do you feel about these changes?
But, well, you get lost in the thing, but yeah.
The big thing about the AI, I kind of appreciate, like, there was one point in the paraphrase which was the enemies are spawning faster than they are killed. That's just physically not true. When you kill an enemy, then you get a new one spawned in. There are always a fixed number of enemies in the environment, right? It's never more or less, which is why we can have instances where the team splits up and then some players are like, where are all the enemies there? So it's the AI being brain dead. That's the sort of thing with horde shooters. I mean, look at oh god, what did we play recently that we've stopped playing entirely?
Oh, Outriders.
Thank you. Outriders, right? Those enemies are entirely as brain dead.
Yeah.
What do you mean we have to finish that?
We have to get to 15.
Oh god. Yeah. So those enemies are entirely as brain dead as the enemies in Warframe, but they're fucking bullet sponges. They're boring as shit.
Yeah,
you're not laying waste to them in any capacity. At least with Warframe, you are just murder, 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 murder. So that is one thing that I really have always appreciated about Warframe, whereas games like The Division, Outriders. I'm pretty sure there are other horde shooters as well, where enemies are just, is this fight over yet? I feel that a way they could potentially address this is more in line with Monster Hunter Dauntless style fights.
Right.
So what I'm saying here is you have big nasty monsters that, so the horde effectively they abandon the area, they lock the doors, they trap you in a room with a big bad thing. It could be a Grineer tank or whatever, but the whole point is that enemy has different ways of engaging the player base, which is what you were saying before.
Yeah.
So, the tank could have mortars. So if you hide behind cover, it starts firing mortars to try and flush you out of cover. It has side guns. It has like flame jets to prevent you from getting too close to it. So on and so forth. It could have different ways of interacting with you. as opposed to the regular enemies, which just shoot their gun at you and hope that you die, right? So that is realistically the only way I can envision Warframe ever expanding upon the way this currently exists, because the game engine, the internet connections around the world and things, they can't cope with 30 enemies all acting like monsters from Monster Hunter or Dauntless. It's just too much for people's internet connections to handle, right? And though I wish everyone around the world had fiber internet connections, it just doesn't exist that way.
Yeah.
Right?
But I hope maybe with the changes to the powers on stuff that they might reassess. I mean, I know they tried to bring Eximuses in as like mid-bosses, but that's the kind of thing that they need, is the one mid-boss enemy that comes out every now and then, and you have to actually deal and interact with. Like you say, you can't have 30 mobs doing it, but one that comes out every now and then, that could be done.
Well, I think what you'd have to do is chunk no, chunk is not good. You basically have to say, right, it's eerily quiet, and then all of a sudden a lich turns up, or a Sister of Parvos or something that can engage you in a lot more variety of ways, and that way the netcode can actually just have the room for the interactions, as opposed to the interactions plus the dumb AI as well.
Yeah,
I think it's the plus dumb AI that's the problem. So I do agree with that sentiment. I really do, but you have to just really switch it up in order to actually make it viable. I think that's my personal thought.
Yeah.
Should we go to the replies? Do you have any other points that you want to raise?
No. Like I say, I picked that one point out as like of a positive that is in the actual thing there. That I don't want to be negative entirely on them, but I feel they're especially they're talking about evolutive things. It's like, and they're putting on everything.
You mean relating to or promoting evolution or development?
Right, let's go to replies. It seems that DE haven't noticed the massive change of pace the game suffered during the years. The Gun X Melee disparity shows that crystal clear. I've had high hopes when DE announced Melee 2.5, and while they did a good job overall, compared to old Melee, I could see lots of future problems that those changes could bring, and to be honest, they could have done way more.
Yeah, but what was it? The last 10% of the work takes 90% of the time.
Yes, yeah. So they've added a gun system in, they've added a secondary system in, they've added a melee system in, and they've advanced the melee system, and then like getting all of these three systems to the point that they're balanced, as you say, takes 90% more of the work.
Yeah, it's like I don't like the whole. Sorry, it seems that DE hasn't noticed the massive change in pace the game suffered during the years.
It's almost like I feel like DE abandoned us and we suffered in the wilderness. And even though there was new guns coming from somewhere, it wasn't from DE, and we suffered and endured with these weapons for years, realizing that melee weapons were overpowered.
Yeah, like I don't know what.
Do you remember the days where people would just equip a whip that would hit through walls and you just span?
Yeah.
Just spun.
Yeah. I had high hopes when DE announced Melee 2.5, and while they did a good job compared to the old Melee, I could see a lot of future problems that those changes could bring, and in all honesty, they could have done way more. Like, to be honest, I'm sorry, this reply feels just like, oh my god, it's hindsight is 2020. Like, shit, how could you not realize that?
How could they have not thought of these mistakes and done it better? Like the first time, they should have done the perfect solution. Like, I can see it now. I'm not going to suggest any suggestions, but they could have done better.
Yeah, I don't like this reply. Please make a suggestion. Don't just criticize.
The next one. They're just going to take melee strengths away and put 2 useless extra mods for guns. The economic factor of play our game more, y'all. Wow.
Well,
this is
the good news.
I don't want to be critical of people, but this feels like they hear a nerf's coming, and this is just vitriol and salt, just spewing forth from someone's mouth without any putting thought of. Have they done right by the player base in the past? Yes. No one's perfect. Can we not give them the chance to do the same? I don't know. I mean, we'll see next week, because I'm sure the people who can do the number crunching will be able to let us know much better than me and you whether these suggestions will be good or bad or whatever. We'll see. But they look pretty good to me. That's all I'm saying. Right, we've got 4 more. Let's get through them quickly. Recreating the whole arsenal is something that they deemed...
Shit.
Recreating.
Sorry, can you hear me now?
I can hear you.
Yeah, sorry. I wasn't... Something happened. You couldn't hear me at all for a second.
Oh.
Shit, what was I saying? Well, I'm just glad that... Sorry, I was saying that I'm glad that the changes are not accurate. That, you know, they are doing more, and...
There's lots more. It's very good, I think.
Yeah, I think it's for the best.
Yeah. Where do we get to? So, recreating the whole arsenal is something they deemed unnecessary, since they believe that guns have sufficient base stats. The fact that guns need 5 former and 1 of 2 builds to deal the same amount of damage as a 2 former dual ether speaks volume.
Yeah, congratulations. We have also worked out that there is a disparity with melee weapons and guns. They have also... Is this... Are all these replies just, let's just shit on DE?
I probably... right, let's get through the next one. The easier, and to be honest, better and more elegant solution is to allow the melee combo counter to work with every weapon, with guns giving a variable, depending on weapon type, addition to the max multiplier. So the game just becomes a glorified comedic I don't mean anything as Capcom killing fest, where there's just a counter for killing mobs, and it goes every 100 kills it goes great, super kill, I don't know, omni kill, devastating, and like flighty lashes and pachinko balls will fly everywhere. Sorry, I'm being mean, but
no, you're thinking.
But you know what I mean? It's that's what the game will become.
I do agree with you. I don't like I remember I was looking
Bayonetta style, you know what I mean? Like Devil May Cry, just killing things is cool, man.
What
am I saying?
I hope that this is more of a typo than anything else, but like the whole idea that all weapons contribute to the melee combo counter, I just hope that's like, no, just the overall combo counter. But it just feels like, oh, so if there's a hiccup at all in any form of combat, so what? If you go down, does that mean your combo resets?
Yeah, I guess. So if you stop hitting things for a few seconds, your combo will reset.
Yeah, it's like, I'm sorry, no, this is.
And then missions will begin with a 3, 2, 1, start! And off you go, try and get your perfect combo score. And the game gives you a lesser grade at the end. I know it does that for Sanctuary Onslaught, but now it's just going to be rolled out for the whole game. It's like, S plus. Well done.
Oh, God.
Like a rhythm game.
Or if it's Devil May Cry 5, SSS.
I think another thing to consider is that reloading is a huge limiter for guns, as melee works unhindered with all your movement options. You do a roll of any kind while your gun is reloading, and the reload starts over if you have 0 ammo in the clip.
I give that one. Yeah, I completely agree with this one. I would love it if rolling, your gun still reloads. That's
a fair point, yeah. Seeing as we're, to be fair, so reloading needs to be not interrupted by all the crazy movements we do. That's fair.
I think you're right. I'd like to just assess like what, I think I would rather DE go and assess what interrupts reloading.
Why not why not, instead of interrupting reloading, just slow down reloading?
Yeah.
So, while during the period of a bullet jump, let's say, your reload is slowed but not interrupted.
Well, I would like it if you wall latch and you've tried to reload.
Yeah.
So you reload, you wall latch, that would interrupt, because like realistically your hand is stopped doing what you're doing.
Yes,
if you're doing a roll, right? If you're doing a roll, you can continue doing the reload.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
If you're doing a double jump in the air, now you can continue to do the reload. Right?
Yeah.
I think it depends on the action, and it needs to be a case-by-case basis.
Yeah.
Of whether or not it should interrupt versus whether or not it does. So, yeah, anyway, let's next one.
Last one. A huge problem I have with Blood Rush and Weeping Runes is that they effectively aren't evolving mods. They're 660% crit chance and 440% status chance mods that punish you for essentially playing wrong.
That I agree with.
But you don't like the idea of stacking mods, do you?
Yeah. No. I kind of do, but again, like this whole mentality of, you know, oh shit, I missed, or oh shit, I actually got punted off the environment, and now the time it's taking me to, you know,
get back in the fight,
come back in, like my things have reset, or you know, I do kind of get that mentality behind that. And again, this is why I'm happy that the arcanes for primary and secondary seem to be so forgiving. Because
Blood Rush and Weeping Wounds aren't the ones with timers. They're the ones that just give you Weeping Wounds just gives you status chance. But oh no, I suppose you drop your combo counter. I see what you mean.
Yeah. So
get a mod for that.
No, that's true, but then the thing is like, oh, you have to mod for it, and so I mean, I always take body count. I
love body count. I don't like having a short combo counter. I like having a long combo counter. Yeah.
Maybe that's the question. Like, do you take body count? Do you always have body count?
You have body count. Do you know it exists?
You always use body.
I love it. I just have it on every mod. I always have body count always.
Yeah. No, I completely agree.
Right, that's it for the topic. So, I know it's a bit of a long one because we wanted to include this evolving thing as it's happening. So we've got people's views on it. Obviously, we're going to have next week. We'll probably be looking to what people's feedback are. Now that other people would have to chew through, and maybe D might amend their announcement with feedback from people, because they do that. You see, that's the thing. People are like, oh no, D, you don't know this, and oh no, this is terrible. Then and all these things are going to be nerfs. It's like no, they put something out and then they have a look through, they read through your replies and go, yes, well, that's a good idea. No, that's trolling, that's complaining, oh, that's a good idea.
I think one thing to truly highlight is the value of the stat analysis from DE. Like they have Ben, who, he actually breaks down like. I'll see if I can get them on, but like they break down the data. They try to determine our perception of something may not be accurate, right? It like how it's the vocal minority that are the loudest. It doesn't necessarily mean this is how people play. I mean, how long was I banging on about corrosive projection? Everyone should fucking use corrosive projection. 0% of 1,000 armor is 0 armor, but no one fucking listened, and they didn't do anything about it until people did start going with corrosive projection, and they're like, now we hard capped it at 75%. Like, it was always going to happen eventually, right? Well, I mean, one would hope it always happen eventually. But the whole point is that, just because it's obvious to us, and I'm a screaming man-child saying everyone should take corrosive projection, no one fucking did, doesn't necessarily reflect how the players are actually treating the game. So they do have statisticians that analyze this stuff.
Very fair.
Right. Well, that's it for this mid-episode shenanigans.
Longest one we've done,
very much. No. Well, I mean, like, it's effectively 2 topics in one, isn't it?
Yes.
So, if you like what you listen, as I heard, you can go to the main topic. The the full episode is in the body description of this video, along with the end slate. We've timestamped everything. Loz reads all the comments. Even if you commented on 2 separate videos individually, and we have memes, community shout outs.
Yep. Chance to win platinum. Chance to win platinum.
We are trying to get to 1,000 subscribers just so that we can actually highlight guest stuff in the cards, which we still can't do.
Nope.
Yeah, that's it. So thank you very much, everyone, for listening. I can't think of anything else to add on the end of this.
No, well, the only thing I was going to say is we will obviously be talking this topic in a week's time, more than likely, as we get people's feedback and as this topic expands. So if you're interested in this, come back next week and probably got more to say on this issue. Probably with a guest.
Yes, with a guest.
Ooh.
So,
that's it.
Well, see you. Yeah. Bye.